Welcome to Speak Lab, English Edition. I'm your host, Ariana, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about one of the most underrated keys to success, consistency. As Robert Collier once said, success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. When we think of success, we often envision a big moment or a grand achievement. But the truth is, success is built on consistent, small actions over time. Today, I'm going to break down why consistency is so important and how you can use it to achieve your long-term goals. Let's start by defining what consistency actually means. At its core, consistency is about doing something regularly, without giving up, even when it's hard or progress seems slow. It's easy to get excited at the start of a new project or goal. But what happens when the excitement fades and the reality sets in? That's where consistency comes in. It's about sticking to your plan, showing up every day, and taking action, even when you don't feel like it. What's important to realize is that consistency doesn't mean perfection. It's about making incremental progress, even when it's messy. And it's this regular effort that leads to lasting success. Now, why does consistency matter so much? Why is it the key ingredient to achieving our biggest goals? First, consistency builds momentum. Think of it like rolling a snowball down a hill. At first, it's small and slow, but as you keep pushing it, it grows bigger and faster. The same happens when you're consistent with your efforts. Over time, you build momentum, and things start to snowball in your favor. Second, consistency helps you build habits. When you do something every day, it becomes second nature. You don't have to rely on motivation to get started because the habit is already in place. Whether it's exercising, working on a business project, or reading every day, consistency turns those actions into automatic routines. Lastly, consistency leads to results. No matter how small the efforts may seem on a daily basis, when compounded over time, they add up to significant progress. That's why it's the small, daily actions that lead to long-term achievements. So, how can we stay consistent, especially when we're faced with challenges or distractions? Here are some practical tips to help you stay on track. Tip number 1. Set clear, achievable goals. The first step in being consistent is to know exactly what you're working toward. Set clear, specific, and achievable goals that are broken down into smaller tasks. The more focused your goal is, the easier it is to consistently take action toward it. Tip number 2. Create a routine. Consistency thrives on routines. If you build a daily schedule that incorporates the actions you need to take, you're much more likely to stick with them. Having a set time for your tasks helps remove the decision-making process and makes it easier to stay on track. Tip number 3. Track your progress. Tracking your progress is a great way to stay motivated and keep yourself accountable. Whether it's marking off each day that you've worked toward your goal or using an app to track habits, seeing the progress you've made keeps you motivated to keep going. Tip number 4. Celebrate small wins. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results, but every small step forward is worth celebrating. Take time to acknowledge your progress, even if it's just completing one task that moves you closer to your goal. Celebrating small wins helps reinforce the habit and keeps you motivated to continue. Tip number 5. Build a support system. Staying consistent can be tough, but it's easier when you have a support system. Whether it's a friend, mentor, or accountability partner, having someone who checks in with you and encourages you helps you stay focused and committed to your goals. Now, let's look at some real-life examples of how consistency has led to incredible success. Take Michael Phelps, for instance. He didn't become the most decorated Olympian of all time overnight. It took years of daily practice, hard work, and dedication. Every day, he was in the pool, working on his technique, improving his strength, and fine-tuning his skills. His consistency in practice led to his success. Or consider the story of Elon Musk. When Musk started Tesla and SpaceX, he faced countless setbacks, failures, and criticisms. But he didn't stop. He stayed consistent in working toward his vision, even when the results weren't immediate. Now, Tesla is a global leader in electric vehicles, and SpaceX is revolutionizing space travel. Both of these individuals, and countless others, achieved success not because of one big leap but because of consistent effort over time. Their success was built on the small, everyday efforts that they put in day in and day out. When you look at the long-term benefits of consistency, it becomes clear why it's such an important factor in success. Number 1. Mastery and expertise. Consistency leads to mastery. The more you practice something, the better you get at it. Whether it's a skill, craft, or profession, consistency is the foundation of becoming an expert. Number 2. Increased confidence. As you stick to your goals and see progress over time, your confidence will grow. Each day of consistency reinforces your belief in your abilities and your ability to overcome challenges. Number 3. Resilience and patience. The process of staying consistent also builds resilience. You learn to embrace setbacks as part of the journey, and you develop patience because you know that success doesn't happen overnight. With consistency, you learn to trust the process and stay the course. Number 4. Cumulative results. Ultimately, consistency is what produces cumulative results. Small efforts over time add up to big achievements. Whether it's saving money, writing a book, or building a business, consistency compounds your efforts and leads to extraordinary results. So, as we wrap up today's episode, I want you to think about your goals. What small, consistent efforts can you make every day that will add up to something bigger in the long run? Remember, success isn't about massive bursts of effort. It's about showing up every day, taking small actions, and being consistent in your pursuit of your goals. Every step forward counts, and over time, those small steps lead to big transformations. Thank you for joining me today on SpeakLab, English Edition. If you found value in this episode, be sure to share it with someone who could use a reminder about the power of consistency. And don't forget to subscribe for more episodes like this. Until next time, keep showing up, keep taking small actions, and trust the process.